Well, howdy everybody. It's Chris, the Texas Adventure, and welcome back to another episode of Forgotten Texas History. I'm here in Rosenberg today. We're gonna have a gunfight here at the Harvey House, which is next to the train station. So the Harvey House was the first chain restaurant in the United States, and this guy Harvey decided that he would build a restaurant at every train station he could across the country. So he hired girls out east and set them up all over the United States in restaurants like this, and the girls would stay upstairs, and they had a restaurant downstairs. So whenever you got off the train, you could have a familiar place to eat, just kind of like the 19th century version of McDonald's. So Walter Reese and Jim Coleman had moved down here to Rosenberg and got jobs as deputy sheriffs. And they had been down here about, well, this all took place in July 1900, so it's about 6 months after the killing in Bastrop. So Hub Reese, who was only 19 at the time, had gotten on the train in Columbus, and on the train with him was Will Clemens, Mark Townsend, Jim Clemens, Gunger Woodridge, and Frank, also known as Red Burford. And they were all giving him a hard time because it's only, like I said, 6 months after their cousin Arthur had been killed in Bastrop. So they were giving him a hard time on the train. It scared him so much that he got off the train at Eagle Lake. And when he did, he got on the telephone and called down to his brother here, and who was the deputy in Richmond, and told him about what had happened. So Walter Reese and Jim Coleman came down here to the train station to meet the train, and they were just hanging out here on the boardwalk on the loading dock in front of the train station, waiting on the train to show up. So, and of course they had their Winchesters and 6-shooters with them, or because they were still gunning for Will Clemens. Remember, he's the guy they were trying to kill in Bastrop, who had gotten away. But he had all healed up from his bullet wounds and was on the train. So when the train pulled up, Will Clemens and Red Burford saw Walter Reese and Jim Coleman out on the platform waiting on them. And Jim got on one of the cars and looked around for him. And then he got back off the car and walked back down the platform towards Walter. And just about that time, Walter made eye contact with somebody on the train. So when they saw each other, they both raised their guns and started shooting. So Will Clemens came down the stairs on the train car with his 6-shooter, and he shot Walter Reese. At the same time, Walter Reese was shot by Red Burford with a shotgun, and he fell down. So the shooting became general, and Jim Coleman was also shot. So Coleman was hit 3 times, once in each arm and once in the back. And Walter Reese was shot in the hip and also had some buckshot in him. So when they all started shooting at each other, the train engineer started on down the line to get away from or stop the shooting. So the train went on into Houston, and when it got there, Will Clemens and Red Burford were both arrested, but later released on bond. And nothing ever happened to Walter Reese and Jim Coleman. They did lose their jobs as deputy sheriffs here, and in Richmond, but that was the only, and they both recovered from all their bullet wounds. So a doctor actually came down from Columbus to treat both of them, and they both lived. But this feud just keeps heating up. So if y'all like my content, please like, share, and subscribe, and y'all keep exploring Texas.